Let me set the context for the video. Check out this video. And maybe this one. Video models have gotten really good today. And in this video, I'm going to clone a $300 million startup called Higgsfield. Higgsfield is one of the most, if not the most popular platform today for video generation. They reached $200 million in ARR in less than 9 months. And surprisingly, the product is very simple. AI rappers are probably the most high growth startups today. And in this video, we'll build one end to end. This is the first time on the channel that we have a product live on the internet for anyone to buy and use. And this is thanks to the power of coding tools. It took me less than 3 days to ideation to deploying a working product on the internet. And I feel distillation as a concept will pour over to full stack apps. Almost every website or app that you see today, unless it has a very specific mode, should be very easy to clone and distill. In this 2-hour video, we'll build a website where people can come, sign up, pay to buy credits, and generate images, generate videos, and generate long form 3 to 4 minute videos of famous Bollywood or Hollywood songs. The first part is a simple AI rapper. The second part of long form videos is slightly more complex and novel. Video models today can only generate 5 to 10 seconds of video. So stitching together a 3-minute AI video for the end user is a complex challenge we'll go through today. We'll learn about video models, face swap models, image models. We'll build a Premiere Pro-like UI in the front end where people can come and stitch together long form videos for the end user. Once a long form video is stitched, anyone can come, upload an avatar and put themselves in a long form 3-minute video. If you want to put yourself in one of these videos, all you have to do is go to the website, upload an avatar of yours and click on generate. In less than 30 minutes, you'll have yourself as the main character of this video. In this video, I've covered the end-to-end journey of ideation, building, productizing, and productionizing this product. And the goal of the video is for you to understand how spec-driven development happens. In the end, the final app, which looks very close to Higgsfield, can be rebuilt by you with the 20 specs that I've written. Every time I've interacted with a coding agent, I've done it through writing a lot of files around what I want to build, the architecture of building it, the various edge cases, and the full history of how the product was built is dumped down in MD files. I feel eventually this is how most companies are going to write code, where most of the code is written by AI, but documented by humans as well as possible. It's a 2-hour video. We're using Devin as our coding agent, cloud agent, the editor. We're not token maxing. We're judiciously using the power of AI agents today to build a product how I would build if I was building a company from scratch. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. We've done a bunch of videos in our Build Your Own series on the channel in which we pick a product and try to build it from scratch and hand code it without using AI. Today, we're taking a different route. We're going to, I wouldn't say vibe code, but use the power of agentic tools today to ship out a product in less than 3 hours. The goal is that by the end of 3 hours, we have a fully functioning deployed website with payments working so that if we want, we can start to accept payments tomorrow and have a production ready URL ready. The product that we're building is Higgsfield, a startup that started, I think, a year and a half ago. Currently is doing 300-400 mil ARR. It's a website where people come and generate videos using prompts, primarily for marketing purposes, sometimes for filmmaking purposes. It is an AI rapper, but AI rappers have been doing really well. I think people do tend to pay for convenience, hence they use Higgsfield and don't directly go to Gemini. And I think that will continue, and hence there's a lot of products that can be built on top of AI. Today we're building something similar. We'll build one variation of Higgsfield, which is cloning the product. And then I have a few ideas to explore around how we can make it better for slightly longer films. This is an idea I've had for a few years now, but today's video models make it possible. So we'll understand what that variation of Higgsfield is and have an end-to-end working product by the end. We'll be using the Devin CLI as our coding assistant today. We'll write a lot of spec files, document the whole process, understand the code that the AI is writing, but I will almost not write any line of code myself. We'll just work as an orchestrator, which sort of has become the job of an engineer today. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. All right, let's understand what we're building. I've created all the front-end pages that we will eventually need. And I think this will give us a good high-level idea of what we're trying to achieve. We'll need a landing page that looks very close to Higgsfield. It shows a bunch of videos that have been created using various prompts of Higgsfield, and you can remix one of these videos if you want. When we say remix, we simply mean you can click on the video, click on a remix button, change the prompt a bit, change the avatars that are used, and a new video comes out that looks very close to the video that is already there. A video creation page, again, same as Higgsfield, a page where you can come, select the model that you want to use. Could be CDance, could be VO3, could be other video models that exist. If needed, add a bunch of reference videos. You can also add start frames and end frames that, sort of let you make sure that the video starts from a specific image frame and ends at a specific image frame. That's usually a good idea to, add both of them so you have a structure to a longer video. Then you can describe the prompt, what you want to be done in the video, select the aspect ratios, duration, etc. Click on generate, and that would generate a video for you. For example, if I select my image and write a prompt like this, person dancing, and click on generate, after a few seconds, the video is generated using this specific model that you can play, see, hopefully you like it. If you don't like it, you can regenerate, so on and so forth. That's the first part. There is a video history section in Higgsfield as well, where you can see the history of videos that you have created in the past. This part should be easy and can be extended easily to generate audios, generate images, generate games, generate websites if you want to. You can expand this as much as you want. Horizontally, videos is one thing we support right now, which sort of makes sense. But Higgsfield now supports games and a bunch of other things. A story for later should be very easy to expand this architecture to whatever you might want to build using AI in the future. That's part one. That's the easy part. You can probably wrap up Higgsfield by this point. You've built something like Higgsfield. The second part is different, ambitious, and may work, may not work, but something like this doesn't really exist, I think. And I don't know if this will work. It probably might work in a country like India, where you click on the second button called templates, where you see a bunch of slightly longer, call them movies, call them dance videos. So anything between 30 seconds to 10 minutes of content, where people can come. See the original video by clicking on one of these. For example, this might be a comedy film, this might be a mythical film, this might be a romantic film. You can click on it. You can see that specific video. And if you want, you can replace yourself as the main character of the video. I feel there is some level of, hero concept or, hero dilemma in this country, and everyone wants to be a hero. So in a country like India, where music videos are very popular, might just work. People might want to see themselves in videos, in music videos, in stories. And I think there's no reason for, for us to not have a Dhurandhar in the future, a 4-hour movie where you can just replace your face and, be the hero of the movie, something like that. So we let the user upload an image and be part of this slightly longer video. The problem is video models can't generate longer videos. They can't generate, 10 minutes of content at once. They will hallucinate. It'll be really bad. And hence what we need to do is we need to support a template creator UI like this, which I've taken inspiration from Premiere Pro, which is, my standard video editor that I use. You need to let a person create a movie, create a template, so they can come to this website, upload some sort of a audio, let's say, some sort of a music audio of a song. And once they do, they can generate individual timestamped videos. So from this 0 timestamp to 4 timestamp, person standing in front of a tower staring into the abyss. And that person can be a template for now. Okay, for now it is avatar 1, but can be replaced in the future. If it is replaced in the future, only the face changes. Everything else remains the same. So the structure of these 4 seconds does not change, even if you change the person over here. And the same is true for the next 8 seconds, next 5 seconds, next 3 seconds, next 2 seconds, so on and so forth. So you have a template of a video. You can submit and export it. The first long form video gets exported and people can come, choose your template, replace their face with it, and then get themselves as a part of the video that you have created. This is the slightly more ambitious thing. I've already tried this locally, and I don't hate the output, but I think there's, more you can do. I've not spent too much time here, but something like this by the end. To think of this like a small music video. I don't really love it. Those of you who don't know, I'm into a little bit of filmmaking. So we'll see if by the end I can create an actually impressive video that can go viral, that people like to see themselves in. I'll spend my time building one such video on this template creator and see if people actually like to replace their faces with it. And what we can charge them is what the video models are going to charge us, plus 10% kicker on top, so you have some profit margin as well. Cool. Hopefully that clears what is the product that we're building. It is some variation of Higgsfield for the simpler things in this video tab, and then a slightly more complicated UI to do slightly more complicated things, which is always a front-end challenge, which I'm very interested to explore, and also happy that I have a coding companion, Devin, in this case. That is going to help me through it, because God, I hate front end, and if I had to do all of this front end myself without using AI, will I probably take like 10 days and help with a few engineers. Let's get into it. Let's start by discussing the system design of building something like this. It should be very simple because the video model layer has been outsourced. Let's get into that next. Let's understand the architecture and all the services that we'll be building. All right, let's begin. Let's get into the architecture of building something like this. Thankfully, the architecture isn't too difficult. There aren't, asynchronous backends or extremely heavy things to build. Since a lot of, I should call this like a video model, but since a lot of the infrastructure, the AI parts are outsourced, our life is much easier. We just have to stitch a few things together. The front end is probably going to be the most complicated part, especially when we build the front end based editor. The backend is going to be in TypeScript Express. It's probably going to be a bunch of CRUD endpoints. There is a case to be made to add some, asynchronous architecture between these two, since videos can take a long time to process. When you ask to generate a video, we will ask the model provider to generate one. It might take, 30 seconds, 2 minutes to generate it. And hence there's some backend communication that can happen between these two through a webhook. We'll keep it simple for now, but eventually something to optimize. The database will be standard Postgres. And again, bunch of CRUDs, nothing too crazy over here. There are two more services that we'll need. One is the object store, where we'll be dumping all the videos. So any video that the user generates, any user that we generate for templates, any images that we generate if we support images in the future, audio files, all of them will be dumped in the object store. And to keep things simple and locally hostable, we'll be using min.io, which is a self-hosted S3 compatible object store that you can run locally. You can use S3 Cloudflare. You just need a credit card. So we're trying to avoid that. And lastly, there is certain use cases where we'll need face swapping. The simplest use cases, you might want to create a very cinematic image first, replace the face with your own face, and then generate a video with that frame as the first frame of the video. And hence, we will need a face swapping model. And the good thing is face swapping models are self-hostable. There are a bunch of open source ones that are really good. So we'll probably self-host this as well. The only external service we'll need is an API provider where we give a prompt, start image, etc., and a model name, and it just generates the video for us. Here you will have to put certain credits, $5, $10. I'll try to create like a dummy server if you want to test it. So by the end of the video, you'll probably find like a dummy video server where you give a prompt, it always returns you the same video. But you'll be able to test using it. But in the end, this is an expensive application to pursue. During the testing itself, I'm assuming I'll have to spend like $200, $100, $50 at the very least. And as the application actually grows, this is like a very expensive business because generating videos is not cheap. But at the same time, that gives moat to this business. Not a lot of people will be able to spend that much upfront to build a business like this. That should be it. We can talk more about what I feel are the endpoints the backend should support, how should the front-end UI look like. But I'll do all of that when I write a spec file describing what the backend should look like, what all services we need, so that in one shot we can create a simple version of the application, an application where people can come and generate videos for now. After we're done with step one, we'll move on to step two, which would be generating images, maybe generating audios, then eventually to the final portion of, a more complicated, longer video. Let's start off with the first version of this application, which should be allow a user to come and generate a video, select the duration of the video, start frame, end frames, reference frames, give a prompt, click on a submit button, and we generate a video for them. For now, everything for free. Without any further ado, let's get into the first coding part, coding the backend and the front end for a basic video generation website. Alrighty, spec driven development. Let's write the very first spec to bootstrap the project and probably create the V1 in maybe one shot. I think this should be one shotable. We'll see. Let's create a new folder. I'm going to name the application, I don't know, Video Arena. It's like a bad name, but let's just go with that for now. And I'm going to open this now in the Devin editor. This basically lets you, it's like a VS Code, Fork UI looks very similar, and it lets you explore the code base a little bit, which I would want to from time to time. From time to time, I would also, use the agent to just sprint through a bunch of things. Now there's a very big question mark here. Should I initialize a turbo repo myself, or should I ask the AI to do it? I want to own that process. So I'm going to now do a bun create turbo at latest, I think should be the command. Should initialize a turbo repo locally. In this folder, I'm going to use bun as my runtime, package manager, etc. And now I have apps and packages, 2 folders. Let me get rid of both the apps for now. We don't really need 2 Next.js frontends. We'll need just 1 frontend eventually. And in the packages as well, let me get rid of UI. Just have bare minimum, functioning bun workspaces and a build system like Turbo Repo. That's the only thing I want to, have in there as the LM's context to start off with. And eventually, as the context grows, we'll see what happens. I'm going to create a 3rd folder here called the spec, where I'm going to, one by one add all the specs. So the first thing we're going to do is, let me call this initial video app.md. Here I'm going to write all the code, all the explanation of what we want in this specific, iteration of the project. Building a Higgsfield. I'm just building a video generating SaaS. It's probably a good title for it. You have an empty turbo repo that we want to set up for a new project that I'm building. The project is awfully close to what Higgsfield does. Again, I would should spend a lot of time inserting the context over here because I really wanted to one-shot the whole, the V1 in one go. I don't think this is the best statement for it, but I'm just going to go with it for now. For now, let users come and generate a video based on a prompt, duration, resolution, aspect ratio, start frame, end frame, and reference frames. For now, we want to set up all the services needed for this. The architecture looks as follows. Frontend, a React frontend that the user will land to interact with our systems. Backend, TypeScript plus Express backend, which exposes the CRUD endpoints for the user. I think that's good enough. Postgres plus Prisma. The database layer, we should write all the Prisma logic in a separate package called DB. And reuse this package in the backend app. min.io as the object store. For now, we'd like to use min.io as the local object store. Was there anything else? Let's go back to the architecture. Database is done. Oh, phase swapping model. What is the service that we use? Phase Fusion. Self-hosted phase fusion for phase swap. We will need this later, not right now, but let's add it to the Docker compose. And then lastly, open router as the video model routing layer. I should probably add like a reference doc. It should be able to find it, but not the worst idea in the world to give it, access to this doc. Video models open router. this thing right here, openrouter.ai/models ? Oh, not this. Video models openrouter docs. This thing right here, and there's probably an AI friendly version of this, but I think that should be good enough. All right. For now, let's initialize all the packages / apps. Let's write the Docker files for it. Let's also write a Docker compose that lets the user start these services locally. We should also populate the steps to start the project locally using in the readme file. We should update agents.md to do the same. Anything else we need at this point? I mean, ideally, again, this is not a one shot. This is just setting up the project. The very first spec that sets things up. I might want to just, build the whole application also. So let me just do that next. Also add .env.example files to all the projects. For front end, use bun to initialize the React project. I should probably call this step 1. And then step 2, add, oh wow, they also have tab, a basic UI front end, create the login page authentication modal, video creation page, which has 2 tabs. Text to video generation, and then see your existing videos. Backend, add support for authentication using Google and email, as in login with Google and email. Add logic to talk to OpenRouter synchronously. For now, make sure all final videos and images uploaded by users or fetched from OpenRouter are dumped to our local object store. It's local right now. Eventually, might be S3. Able to select the model duration, register start frame, end frame, reference frames. Some of these would be optional. No need to show any pricing right now. We'll add like a credit system later. Backend, I want to add more context, but I feel like this is good enough. It should be one-shotable. The nav bar should have only one tab for now. Video. On the right side, it should have a sign in / profile button. Whatever env variables are needed eventually, OpenRouter key / Google auth secrets, I will provide later. For now, add them to .env.example. By the end, also add commands in the top level package.json to start the full project locally using Docker Compose. I think that's a great starting point. I would assume this is able to do everything in one go. We'll choose the most strong model to implement this. I feel like this is like a 5 to 10 minute task from here to build the video generation part. I would probably spend more time here, like 15 to 20 minutes, just trying to engineer the prompt as well as possible, because if I do that right now, eventually whenever the model starts coding, I'll probably have to answer lesser questions, which is something I want. I want the full process to be documented really well in these spec files, because eventually, as your app grows, the LLM or the agents can learn a lot from these. I would basically, spend at least 30 more minutes here. I'm not going to though. I'm going to now start the Devin CLI, or I can open the agent on the right as well. I think both are fine. And make it, after I change the model to an expensive one, probably high or X high, one of them. Opus 4.8 high is fine. Start implementing this spec. All right, moment of truth, guys. I'll see you in a few minutes. All right. Even before we started, things went bad. I forgot to save the file. Let me do it one more time. I'm going to bypass all permissions, and I can probably run this dangerously as well. Should be fine. Alright, it's asking me a few questions that I feel like I've already answered. This is fine. For auth, better auth, it is open source, so we should be fine. Tailwill plus chatcn. Again, these are things that should be dumped into this spec, but what I'll do is, once the LLM finishes, I'll ask it to dump a summary into like another file so that we always have context of it.
A few moments later.
Alrighty, believe it or not, it took almost, I think, 25 minutes for it to finish the whole thing. There are many reasons for it. I think downloading the face swap model might have taken some time. Testing everything inside Docker, making sure all the services are up, sort of makes sense. But I still feel this is like a big enough lift for it to build in one go. The net context window that is uses 136k tokens of a million tokens. And we also use like a very heavy model, so that probably explains it. By the end, it says done. Both the steps of the spec are implemented and verified end to end. A monorepo layout, a backend, a front end, the infra layer, and it's verified everything. I still need to add open router API key, better auth API key, etc. But before I do that, let me first ask it to dump everything it learned in a spec file. Can you dump all the decisions you made and things we added? For example, using better auth into a new spec file that starts with 01. So we already have one spec file that starts with 00. That's the first step that we did. The second step, or whatever the LLM did in response, I want to dump to a file. So we always have this, iterative spec development. Every spec that was generated, everything that was done, at least the bigger things that were done, are all dumped somewhere for the future, for the LLM or the agents or other developers in the team to sort of get context from. While that is happening, let me grab myself an open router API key and the better auth secret. I really thought better auth was open source, and maybe it is, but it seems like it might not have self-hosted it, which is not great. Actually, maybe not. Let's explore the code a bit. Better auth. Oh, it's just like a random string. I should add that. I should add the open router API key. I should add a Google Client ID and Google Client secret. And that's it. Everything else should be fine. Let me do that in a bit. All right. It was able to dump everything in the spec file. Let's try to explore it. It says the document captures the concrete decisions made over here by implementing this thing, tech stack decisions, other notable decisions, monorepo layout, project dependencies added, database schema, etc., etc. I like it. This is what I needed. Given that is done, we need to now start the application and make sure it's working. For that, I will need to copy over all the env.examples to .envs and replace them with the right things. Specifically, I need to replace this with a random string. I need to get an open router API key, so let me do that. If I go to open router, open the dashboard, as you saw, I already have $30 in it. Let me quickly create an API key, which will not be alive by the time you see this video. That's my open router API key, copy, paste. Google Client ID and Google Client secret. Let me go to cloud.google.com. Let me create a new OAuth client. Credentials, I think, is the right place. Create new credentials, OAuth client ID. For a web application, Google Cloud is always really slow. Web application, I'm going to call it local video arena. JavaScript origins are going to be localhost 4000, and authorized redirect URLs is going to be what it provided me over here, and I think we're good to go. Let me copy the client ID, paste it over here. Let me copy the secret, paste it over here. That should be good enough. What other .envs do we have? We have one in the DB folder, which is totally fine. Front end folder, that's totally fine. That should be fine if I'm starting all the services locally myself, doing node index.js here and here, but I'm probably going to use Docker Compose. So I need to see how environment variables are passed over here. If I open the Docker Compose, the backend gets, the better auth secret, Google Client ID, Google Client secret, open router API key. I need to provide these. What is this :/ syntax? Does that mean we need to change it? Probably. All right. Or is that like a variable? It probably is a variable, right? This I'm seeing for the first time. Does it mean default to this thing or this environment variable? Probably. Probably what it means. I will ask though. Can you explain this syntax? How do I pass the env variables while running Docker Compose? I think if in a top level .env I add these variables, they'll just get picked automatically. I think that's what it means. We'll see though. This is variable interpolation. Document placeholders before starting everything. Use the variable from the environment/.env file, or you default to something else. Which env file though? All right, top level .env. Is there a top level .env? There is, and this will be another place we should add these secrets. In fact, this is the only place we need to add these secrets. So I can actually get rid of them here if I want and just add them here for now. Yeah, let's just get rid of them here. Open router API key, open router API key, and then a secret can be whatever I want. Beautiful. It does suggest a way to generate the secret, so let me do that and paste it over here. Beautiful. The only thing I had to change / the only env I had to maintain was this top level .env. Why do I not see it here though? Oh, it's a .env.example. Let me copy paste, rename it to .env, And actually let me revert .env.example because it'll get committed to GitHub eventually. Beautiful. I have a top level .env. It has all the right secrets in there, including a better auth secret, a Google Client ID, Google Client secret, and a open router API key. Now this should be good enough for me to start the project locally. If I do a Docker compose up, hopefully all the services should start. And the right environment variables should start to load from this top level .env file. This env file is what injects environment variables over here. So the backend URL gets picked up from here. This thing right here. Same is true for other things. Although I worry, are these incorrect? Yeah, probably. I think there's some level of port forwarding that's happening. Yeah, these should be fine. All right, let's wait for Docker Compose up to start all of the services locally. All right, my mic stopped working for a bit, but I did spend some cognitive abilities in fixing a few issues. The thing finally works. I have a website where I can come, sign in, work in the first go, generate, a video from some prompts, and then, you see something like this. One of my generations succeeded, the second one failed. All right, we need to figure out why. But probably because I gave it like a movie, screenshot as a starting thing, so it had some copyright issues. But this wasn't as easy to run. It almost one-shotted it. There was one challenge though. What was happening was the backend was talking to min.io through this URL, which makes sense because this is running in one Docker container, this is running in another Docker container, and Docker containers talk to each other through their names if you're using Docker Compose. It's like inside the network, backend can access this on min.io, this guy can access this on backend, this guy can access this on Postgres, so on and so forth. The problem is the final front-end URL needs to be localhost. When I finally open this page and see this video over here, the URL that I see over here should be localhost :9000 / the video, the actual min.io URL, and not min.io :9000 / video. That was the problem, and the solution was simple. I had to basically add another environment variable called min.io frontend endpoint and use that in this files, get public URL. The public base URL now is localhost :9000, yet the URL that is used by min.io is still, min.io :9000. If you know Docker containers, you probably understand this in the first go. Wasn't too hard to debug. I did debug it manually mostly. I tried a few approaches, finally landed at this, and now it seems to work. Let's see it in action. Let's pick a model. Kling sounds like an expensive one. I don't want to use it, but I will. Person dancing is the simplest thing we can ask it to make. 4 seconds, 720p, 16:9, and let's add a starting frame. Always a good idea. I probably need to add another toggle here for allow images. Allow audio or not. Right now they're all generating audio. Then the problem is, that's a good one to put. Let's see if I start dancing. This is like the starting frame for it. What was I saying? Yeah, audio might be another flag we need to add here because when you generate a video with audio, it's expensive. If when you generate a video without audio, it's cheaper. Let's add that as another flag over here. Let me create another Devin session. Add another flag for video generation. Enable audio or not. Let's have both of them run parallelly. All right, sorry for the bad audio, folks. Let me recap everything I talked about from there. My mic sort of stopped working. All I've done from there is I tested, does it work correctly or not? I've added another generate audio toggle completely through Devin, and it does work as expected. If I turn it off, the videos that are generated do not have an audio if it is disabled. There's some front-end bug over here. Sometimes you see like a video repeated, but other than that, we're where we were. But one thing I triggered recently is a third spec over here, which asks to build on top of the current app. We already have a video feature. Let's add image generation and a face swap feature. What is the face swap feature? A user can come, put a base image and a face to replace, and we should do it for them. Use the locally running Face Fusion self-hosted model for this. Keep the endpoints clean, reuse code as much as possible, fairly high level stuff. Honestly, I think it can implement everything from here. I started this process. Devin is currently doing its thing. I'll wait for it to finish, and then once it is done, I'll show you the final product with a video tab, an image tab, and a face swap tab. We'll try all three of them out before we proceed to the next part of the video. Alrighty. Devin was able to do a second iteration. This one took like 25 minutes. And in 25 minutes, I just tried it out. Seems like it did everything that I asked it to do. If I do a Docker PS, you will now see another service running locally, which is Phase Fusion's self-hosted model. We have the rest of the things here. I would like to dump this in a third spec file. So can you dump all the learnings from this in a new spec file in the spec folder? And while that is happening, let me show you what it looks like. Localhost :5173. Now I have not just a video tab, but an image tab and a face swap tab. If you look at the image tab, let me add, I don't know, Nano Banana 2 probably. A person in a red Ferrari, rich person. Resolution 512, aspect ratio 16:9. I can add a reference image. Let's see if it picks my face from here. Generate image. While it is generating, let me also trigger the face swap here. I'm going to swap my face here with someone else's. I'm sure I have someone, oopsie daisy, here. Oh, that's Ishan sir. Let me pick him. Swap face. So I would assume his face would come on my face now. Let's see if the image was created. It was, and that is me in a red Ferrari looking slick. Face swap, still processing. But as you can see, I replaced this image with someone else's in the past. This is Dhruv from 100x School, and as you can see, the face got replaced. I mean, I don't know, you guys don't know Dhruv, but looks very similar other than the beard. We'll also wait for this swap to happen, and when this finishes, I think we'll be good to go. The first 3 tabs have been made. There's a very big UI haul that is needed, but I'll kick that down the curb for now. I want to move to the main, more exciting part of this video, at least for me, which is going to be a 4th tab called templates. And probably an admin panel where admins like me can create templates. We shouldn't allow anyone to create templates right now. So the templates tab will show the currently available templates, and the admin templates tab that is only available to admins. Admins should be able to create fresh templates for the user. Writing the spec file for that would be super interesting. So let's see if this worked. Yeah, that's Ishan's face. Again, the face swap model that we're using is like a self-hosted local model. Probably won't be the best. If I really think I can tell this is Ishan, this is Dhruv, but still I feel there's scope of improvement here. Let me go back to Devin and let's move on to the next section. Given that this is done, the next big part is going to be writing, after it's done with writing its spec file, which it did. I'm going to create the 5th spec file, which is the most complicated and interesting one. Sorry, 4th one. Video templates.md. Here we have to write a lot of logic of, letting it know what we're trying to build, because there's nothing like this in the past. It can't take reference from a product like Higgsfield. And hence this will be a little tricky. Asking Devin eventually to create some creative product that I have in mind, probably built on top of a lot of things that we've already written. Still probably not very easy to build. I doubt it's one-shotable. I would be super surprised if it is. If it does one shot, I assume it'll take at least 30 minutes to an hour. So let's write the spec file for generating video templates next. All right. If you remember from the beginning of the video, we discussed a new feature, an interesting feature in Higgsfield, which is templates. People can come and create templates that look like this, which are slightly longer videos, could be 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minute, 8 minute videos, which are not doable in a single prompt or a single video model iteration. It's a bunch of videos stitched together. A user can come, see the current set of templates, click on one of these templates and replace their face inside if they want. But the process of creating this template is required for an admin. An admin will come, see a page like this, put an audio track at the timeline over here, and then create individual 4 second, 8 second, 10 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 second video templates, which basically means a prompt with an avatar tagged that leads to a final video, so that the admin is able to create a long form video, let's say of 1 minute 30 seconds. They can export this video. That video will appear over here, and then end users can come, open a video, enjoy the video, and if they want, replace their face in their video and become the main character of that specific video. That is what we're going to build next. Slightly ambitious, novel, new sort of a feature, which I'm very interested to see how Devin performs on. All right, new feature request templates. The feature allows users to create templates for videos. The template should be a video that can be used as base for other videos. The user should be able to select a template and then modify. No, not really. That's a remix feature, which we should also add. But before that, I want to create templates. We want to add a new feature, templates for longer videos. The real appeal of a platform like this is if there is a 5 to 10 minute video a user can create. The problem is no video models spits out such a long video without hallucinations. We want to allow admins to create a template for longer videos. The template should be a video based other video. No. Template will be a bunch of videos, each video built from a base prompt and one avatar that are stitched together to create a new longer form video. Bunch of videos. The admins can open a template creator UI. This can be hosted on /admins/template/create. Over here, the admins should see a timeline very similar to the Premiere Pro timeline. They should be able to add one audio track that will be the base audio for the full template video. They should be able to select a portion on the video, let's say 00000102000014, where they write a prompt where they can decide to create a video block. A video block could be either a prompt with reference images, start image, end image. Yeah, that's fine. Duration maybe, or it could also be a photo with a face swap for an avatar followed by a would be, let's do it like this, would be a prompt with a, the user should also be allowed to attach a face swap on the first image and the last image. If the face swap is enabled for this specific video block, we should first swap the face for the start frame or end frame or both before we ask the model to generate the video. This series of video blocks should then be rendered based on where they are on the timeline, and a final video should be created using an avatar for this specific admin's profile. this template should now be available to new users, where to users on a new templates tab, where they can open a video template, see the current video, and if they want, regenerate the video with their own avatar. This also means we need a new tab called avatar, where a user can come and put 1 to 2 images of themselves and we create an avatar for them. This avatar they can select before they generate a template video output for themselves. So overall, we need front end URL /admin/template/create for admins to create, test, view, update, and finalize/export templates. Front end URL/avatar to create their own avatars, to see and generate videos from available templates. One more feature we need is that whenever a template is exported, we should create a thumbnail for that template. When a user uses the template, we should generate a thumbnail for that user as well. This means whenever a new template is created, the admin up front needs to tell how many avatars will be part of this template. For now, only let them choose 1 to 2 avatars. I think that's good enough. I think that's a long prompt. I also think this should take at least 30 minutes to implement. I'm unsure if it will happen in one go the way I expect it to. Let me write a few more things. Make sure the front end for the template creator is as close to the premium timeline as possible. That is a familiar interface for the admins who will be creating this. All right, I think I'm good with that. What I should do now is create a new Devin instance and ask it to implement 𝗟𝗶5 04. There we go. Let's get into it. Let's see what it does. I'll probably ask a few questions, so I'm going to be here for that. It is an extensive feature. As expected, it's currently just trying to understand the code base. Already the context is 5% filled, just trying to read the code base. It'll probably go up to like 10-15% to just read the code base, and then probably it'll start implementing it. How should the admins be determined? I think let's have a DB role on user. So let me select option 2. Ideally, it should be asynchronous. More work, but won't time out. Yeah, I think as long as it starts synchronously, and if you have to refresh, it's fine. I think synchronous is fine for this. Yeah, add effect to the backend is fine for now. We should change these. Like, these are all bad architectural decisions. But good for now. After V1 is created, I'll create more spec files to do this. I want it to just one-shot a bad version for now. Confirm the avatar face swap semantics. An avatar is essentially a face image that gets swapped into a block star in this. Yes, face swap source. Avatar additionally passed as an open outer reference image for every block, not just face swap. It's both the things, which I think was point 2 as well. So I hope the question remained in the context. All right, almost at 10% context window now, 8%. But I think it's not going to ask me any more questions. So let it rip. I'll see you guys in 30 minutes. Can almost tell this is going to take around 30 minutes to implement. Alrighty, seems like it's done. I would be super surprised if it's done in one go. Let's read through what it finally told us. It created 12 to-dos, updated the DB schema to add avatars and admins, template block, template render, which is probably a final render. Sounds good. Added admin emails. I'm assuming that's an env variable plus a bunch of helpers. Created a backend endpoint for stitching videos, overlaying audios, and generating a thumbnail. Beautiful. Shared render. I think the thumbnail should be AI generated, so we should probably change this. Created a shared render pipeline. Yeah, this would be like a interesting function to look at. Probably stitches everything together and then calls ffmpeg, something like that. A bunch of routes, updated Docker file to add ffmpeg in the backend, I would assume. Changed some types, front-end components for avatar, templates plus gallery, creator page with premise pro style timeline. This I'm really interested to see how well it was able to build this. This probably requires another prompt spec that finesses this more. I'm assuming it's not done very well right now. Front-end endpoints, check types. Okay, one thing I'm going to ask it to do is can you make the current user in the DB admin, which I think is Harkirat, one of my emails. Oh, actually before that I should have asked it to dump everything in a spec file. I'll do that right after. Can you dump all of your learnings and decisions you took? Who's this guy? In a new spec follow up spec file. While it's doing that, let's run it. Let me stop Docker Compose. Let me rebuild front end and back end. Context windows are big enough now, dude. I think 1 million tokens is enough. If this task took like 170k tokens from what I remember, I don't know what it is anymore. Yeah, can't find it. But yeah, I think most tougher tasks can now be broken down into like 3 small tougher, like mildly tough tasks. Each one can be done independently with a single iteration of a coding assistant like this. All right, backend done, front end done, exporting layers. This done, still writing. Both of them are doing their thing. All right, images have been rebuilt. Let me now run Docker Compose up to start everything. Beautiful. It wrote all its learnings in a new spec file. This one right here. Love it. I think we're up to date. Let's test if it works as expected or not. This will be the fun part. All right, first 3 tabs we've already tested. I am an admin, so I can generate a new template, and avatars is another thing. So let me create a new avatar for myself. Call it Harkirat. Choose one of my photos from here. I think there's one on my desktop. This one right here. and it needs another photo with a different angle for some consistency, which could be this one. Create avatar. All right, a new avatar has been created. It has 2 of my images. Admin, create a new template. I'm going to call it I don't know, what should we create? Like a simple one for now. Music video. It has 1 avatar. It's 60 seconds. And choose a base audio track. All right, this will be an interesting part. Oh, do you guys know we have a song for 100x School as well? Let me quickly find it. Perfect. I do have a song for you. Oh, where did it go? A music video for 100x School. And let me add this rap song right here. Let me choose 1 avatar, 60 seconds, create an open editor. Alrighty. Request failed. That's the first error for the night. Just creating the template failed. It's going to be not very easy, it seems like. Internal server error. At this point, I would probably debug this myself. Let's see. Multer error. Is the audio too long, I would assume? Alright. I really would want to debug this myself. It is a multer error. It's not very obvious what it is though. So I come to my trusted friend. Something has gone wrong. Please fix it. Most probably it's the size of the image. Sorry, the audio track, I would assume. But we'll see. So assume I am not a developer and whatever error I got, I threw it back at the LLM. What is this endpoint? This one right here. Yeah, I can't think of any reason why this would be bad other than this. I think this is what's failing. File size 25 MB. Yeah, I think this might be bigger. Let's see. Yeah, it's 45 MB. So there you go. That's the problem. Let's make it 100 MB for now. I'll stop that. I will rebuild the backend and restart it. So this is not just for image now, it's also for videos and audio. Sorry, not just videos. Docker compose up. Run it. Come on. No, it's not running only. Admin, 100x School music video. Same thing here. 1 avatar. Wrap. This is like 45 MB. Now I changed the limits. Hopefully this is better. Yeah, that was it. Cool. Alrighty. The timeline looks snappy. Did not expect it to look this good. Okay, I can hover. Can I play? If I press spacebar, nothing happens. Yeah. If it doesn't play, it'll be really hard. Alright. Harkirat, render and export only, Sida. Drag on the empty track to create a clip. Alright. 5 seconds. Let's do a 4-second video. This clip prompt is going to be person staring at an old institution in anger. Camera slowly zooms out. Model would be, I don't know, probably, what is that, the video model? Why is, okay, Cdance is here, but I want VO3. Oh, there we go. VO3, 720p is good, 16:9 is good. I don't have a start frame or an end frame. I do want a reference image though, but this shouldn't be choose a reference image. This should be choose an avatar. One thing it has missed is when an admin comes and creates a new thing. Let's write these down. It did one shot it, but I would still say, a few things are missing. So let me open the spec files, add a new 07-follow ups dot or video template follow ups dot md. Few things need to change in the video template. Number one, when creating the template, the admin should select one of their avatars or two as the avatars that will be used during the video generation or template generation. When they create a template, a video block, they should simply select avatar 1 or avatar 2 as reference image. If they select face swap the start frame or face swap the end frame, they should still just select which avatar 1 or 2 should be face swapped. They shouldn't re-upload a new image because then the template isn't generic anymore. Alright, that's one. I should be allowed to play the timeline and preview it as well. Standard feature that Premiere Pro has. I think that's good enough. I don't know if you need a fresh Devin instance for this. Probably do. Can you implement at 06 or 07 dash? Array. Implement at spec/07. Array. Why don't I see it here? Okay. Let me create a fresh window anyways. Something I would have wanted. Problem is now it'll do a lot of back and forth to figure out the code base, which it already had in context before, but that's fine. Actually, I can just resume this session. Can you now implement at 07? There are a few follow-ups I added. Alrighty. We'll wait for it.
A few moments later.
Alrighty, seems like it did a second iteration. Time to restart it. So Docker Compose up, rebuild the backend. Did that. Docker Compose up one more time. Go here and let's see. There we go. Alright, admin. High School music video, which is a draft right now. Alright. I don't know if I can use this one. I'd probably can. It did not fix what I wanted to fix, and that is because I did not restart the front end. So let me rebuild the front end as well. Might take slightly longer. Faster than I was hoping for. One more time. Refresh. Alright. Let's call it 100x school music video 2. Avatar 1 Harkirat, Avatar 2 none, and audio file is rap music, this one right here. Create an open editor. All right. Again, spacebar should play it, but okay. If I play it, the song starts, which is good. Now let me add the very first track for 4 seconds. Ideally, it should only be this long, but I think that's like a weird duration that you can't give. So, all right. Same thing again. Person staring at a tier 3 college, or I don't know, college building, feeling lost and angry. Model would be one of the better ones, so VO3. Resolution would be 720p. Aspect ratio would be 16:9. Reference image would be Harkirat. That is correct. There is no start frame, there is no end frame, and there is no need for these either. Save block. All right, seems like this block is saved, but I do need to preview it. I can't wait for the render and export to finally see the video. It should. There should be a button called bake that actually bakes the video, which means actually generates one preview for me, so I can change it if need be. Next feature to add, again, I will create another spec. So 08 bake feature.md. Add a bake feature on the template generator creator UI. It should actually send the prompt and the avatar / start frame / end frame to the models to actually generate the video, so I can actually preview it and see if I like it. If I don't, I will edit and change it. That looks fine to me. Go back to Devin, probably resume one of the older sessions and ask it to implement this spec. So implement at 07. All right, let's wait for it.
A few moments later.
All right, seems like it did go through the whole thing and added the feature to let's see what it did. Added a bake button that generates a single blocks video, so you can preview the actual output on the timeline instead of just the prompt. Exactly what we wanted. Backend changes, frontend changes, verification. Baking calls the video model for real, so it calls open auto credits. It takes a few minutes per block, etc., etc. That's fine. As before, rerun everything. So let me do that. Let me rebuild the front end and the back end. Done. Let me start Docker Compose up again. Fresh. Open video 2 and click on this guy. There's a button called bake. Beautiful. I can save a bunch of blocks and individually bake them. Let's start baking the first video. Alrighty. This should hopefully update this video to actually show the output, which is a person standing in front of a college building, and also that person should look like me because that was the avatar. I did not give a start frame or an end frame, but that's fine. Let's wait. Unsupported video duration. Supported duration is 8. Oh, all right. We should add that as a feature. For now, I'm going to increase this. Oh, I can't. Can I? Okay. Can I delete a block? I can. Okay. Let me delete this block. Let me re-add a 8-second block, but we'll fix that as a feature. That should be 8 seconds, I think. Yeah. Student in front of a building, staring at it in anger and despair, and VO3 again, 720p, 16:9. We should have avatar is fine. Save block has been saved. Bake. Let me meanwhile start to populate these follow-ups. New file, another feature called duration per model.md. Some models only support certain durations. For example, VO3 only supports 8 seconds. This is probably a very expensive video that I made, by the way, which I shouldn't have. We should only show the specific models that are possible to be used for the selected duration. We should also probably only allow certain duration lengths, 4 seconds, 8 seconds, etc. That should be good. This also means we need a feature of video overlaps. On the timeline, I should see multiple video tracks, and I might generate a 8-second video with VO3, but I might only want to use the first 4 seconds. On a video track above it, I will generate a new video block which has a start and end as the first video. That's perfect. That should be good enough. Go back to Devin, ask it to implement at 0. Let me save that. 9. I think I have to restart it. A newly created file for some reason doesn't appear over here. Implement at 09 dash. There we go. Beautiful. While it is doing it, let's see. Video generate completed with no output. Okay, time to go to Open Router and see what's up. Let's look at the workspace, the logs. And what happened here? Probably the one. Seems like it returned 200. Why did it not work? Close. Let's see. Jobs, activity. I don't know, where is it? API keys. I think credits followed by this button should show a job. So if I open, okay, it failed indeed. But why? Content may have been filtered. What does that mean? I hope I wasn't charged for this. Seems like I wasn't. Okay. Let's try a different model. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to re-add a 8-second block. Or maybe let's add 4 seconds and choose like a different model. A student staring at college in despair. Let's choose one of the cheaper ones. I don't know. Which one would it be? Probably... this seems like a cheap one. I worry some of these cheaper ones do not support reference avatars, so it might not show my face, but that's fine. Block has been saved. Bake it. 4 is not supported. 5 second or 10 second is supported. What was the model again? 𝗟𝗶H1. All right. Let me now generate a 5-second audio. Then what else? Staring at a college build. Despair. Camera should zoom out. 720p, 60:9. Which one was it? 𝗟𝗶H1 2.6. I think that's the one. Reference image. Avatar is fine. And save and bake. Alright. Seems like it is baking. We'll wait for it. Seems like it's also implementing the follow-up features. We'll wait for it.
A few moments later.
Alrighty. Seems like it is done. Few changes that we added to do. Let me rebuild front end and back end. Let me restart the Docker servers. Alrighty, admin, music video. I did bake one avatars. Oh, that's right. That's the wrong one. Let's pick the right one, shall we? The second one. There we go. I did bake one, the first video. I gave my avatar as a reference image, but for some reason, it took my avatar as the starting image, which is a problem. We have to figure out why that is. Could be a model issue. You know, certain models don't support reference images. Just if you give them a reference image, they take it as a a starter image is what happened here. So this is what it looks like right now. All right. What I've changed is we can add another video track. So I think for the first 5-6 seconds, this makes sense. At this point, I should add another video. So I'll add a new video, which is probably 6 seconds. All right. I should be allowed to drag these, by the way. This one should be, side angle of a person in front of a college building who is sad. 6-second duration on the second track over here, even though we should be allowed to move it. 720p, 16:9, Harkirat as the avatar. And let's try this happy horse model, and maybe it's better. I worry again, it does not take 6 seconds as one of the durations. Seems like it does, otherwise it would have thrown an error by now. Okay, at this point we should see the second one now. Let it bake. While this is happening, I have a bunch of more changes. As expected, this is the place where I expect most of the changes to happen. The video UI, video UI updates.md. I should be allowed to move a video. Was it called track or segment? Left and right, or I should call it drag. I should also be allowed to move it up and down. Let's avoid overlaps though. If I drag it on top of a video that's already present, it should get rejected. All right, that should do it. Let's ask Devin to implement this next. I'm still going to resume the old conversation because it has a lot of context. And hopefully the video generation is done now. Yeah, it is. So if I refresh this now, yeah, see. Don't hate it, don't love it either, but this model is definitely better than this one. So I'm going to proceed with this model now. That's the third one. So at this point I need like a third video. Let's see if I can. Seems like I can't. Yeah, that's not great. I'll need to keep adding tracks one after the other for this to work. Around this time, and maybe a duration of, it should show the duration as I expand it. So 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Ideally 4 seconds is good enough. Top level drone shot of person in front of college building. Drone should move up. I think I'll select the same model. Duration is fine. 720p, 16:9. That rhymes. Save block, bake it. Do you know where the term bake comes from? It comes from, if you ever use Blender or rendering engines like these, over there you do something very similar. You create like a low pixel 3D avatar. When you click on bake, it actually bakes the the colors, the textures on top of it. So it's like a common term when you have something primitive and you want to actually see the final output of it. But that's where the term bake came into my head. All right, Devin is doing its thing. Video is being baked. We will wait.
A few moments later.
All right. Hopefully we have a more updated timeline now. Did a lot of changes this time. It created like a bunch of these to-dos. So that usually is a tell that this was a very complex task. please dump your learnings in a spec file, and let's try it out. Let's go back here, go to the admin, go to our next school music video. The other one, this is what it looks like. Can I move around now? Still, oh, I didn't rebuild. Let me rebuild the front end and the back end. Restart, refresh. This one, and let's see. Can I drag them around? I can't drag them around. Can I crop them smaller? Still doesn't work. Huh. Well, was a difficult task. Can I copy paste? I can copy paste. That is working. So let's try that. I can keep repeating these. The problem still is a bunch of features are not working. For example, this one, copy paste, even though it works, there should be like some sort of a right click sidebar. Some more things now. Let's create 13 timeline editor updates. Cropping feature isn't working as expected. I do see the mouse pointer change, but when click and drag to shorten the video, at least in the UI it doesn't shorten. That's one. Right click on this website on this page should be hijacked. It should show options like copy, paste, etc. Anything else? I think that's good enough. Cropping, that'll be good. One thing is, I should be able to start dragging, creating a new video block from the current marker exactly. Right now it seems like I can only do it on certain steps, 0.5 second steps. I think precision selection should be allowed here, and if the mouse pointer is close enough to the marker current point, it should snap to it. Number 3. Number 4, copy, paste, delete. So one more thing I really wanted and I forgot. Dragging is also not working, neither horizontally nor vertically. I think that's good enough for now. There's another thing that, what was it though? I forgot. Yeah, that's good enough. Let's ask it to now continue on this 13th spec file that we have. Implement at 13. All right, we wait.
A few moments later.
While it is doing this, there are a few other issues that I've found, so I'm just going to keep writing them in a spec file. I tried exporting the video and I realized when you do export it, it regenerates all the videos. It rebakes them, and even though they're already rebaked, they're already baked in the past, like some of them are. Baking bug.md. There is a slight, call it unoptimization in our current export functionality. Devin does have an agent, so I can actually do. I mean, I'll ask this guy to fix it this time. See, even if a few videos are already baked, seems like the export pipeline regenerates them on open router. Only the ones that aren't yet baked should be generated, should be baked during export. The ones that already are should just be picked from the db/min.io. Alrighty. Save this, and then let's, in this sidebar, ask it to implement this thing. So now we're implementing two things parallelly, which is always interesting, because it's just interesting to see how it performs with two parallel agents trying to, in this case, access and fix the same parts of the code. So I'm very interested to see how this goes. But hold on. That was quick. Oh, my bad. I picked the wrong one. Smart. I gave it the wrong spec file. This model seems much faster, probably because the model here is adaptive and it's probably using like a smaller model. Not the worst thing for this specific issue. Right, let's see. All right, seems like it is done. At least that's what it says. Optimize present loop in this thing. All right, what did you change here? Oh, there you go. If block.video key already baked, reuse the existing video. Only otherwise render block clip, which probably does a bunch of things. If you have to swap face, sniff image mime. Man, they have weird names for functions, but okay, that works. Cool. Thank you, sir. I think you did your job well. We'll wait for it to finish.
A few moments later.
Guys, it does work. That one prompt, whatever the last spec was for us, I think 13 or 12, fixed everything. I can drag things horizontally. I can drag them vertically. That's beautiful. I can shrink them. So let's try that out. Let me shrink this guy up until this point. And this should be a little pehle. This should be a little pehle. Let's see. At this point, this guy should come. It's also snapping really well. So if I get close to it, it just snaps to the marker, which is great. This is exactly how Premiere Pro feels like, which is beautiful. So at this point, I would have, as long as it gets, okay. So here, play should actually play it, but you get the idea, it's fine. Let's see if it fixed the export bug. What was happening right now is all of these videos are baked already, so there's no reason to regenerate them, but when I was exporting, it was regenerating them one after the other. So this is what the logs look like right now on Open Router, and I hope when I export this video, it doesn't add more things. All the videos are already baked. So it should just render the final video, which would be like an 𝗟𝗻 process that stitches them around. And it seems like it is, but that happened quick. Alright, that's exactly what I needed. Can I change the audio? I can't. It's fine though. Beautiful. I think that's exactly what I needed. Render and export worked, which probably means it's available in templates. And it is. It shows me a thumbnail. The thumbnail should be AI generated, so that's one thing I'll change. The thumbnail generated during export of a template needs to be AI generated. Try generating one using the prompts of the video timeline. It should not be a 𝗟𝗻 screenshot. Right now the thumbnail looks like this, just something we don't want. All right, generate with my avatar. Now let me add another avatar. Let me call this guy 𝗟𝗶 because I have one of his photos. I need two photos. I'll just keep them the same, honestly. Alright, new avatar created. Now let's say someone comes to my website and they really like this template. They're like, wow, this is such a cool 100x cool video. They click on generate with my avatar. They select their avatar, that's 𝗟𝗶, and click on generate my video. This should take a long time now because that happened a little too quick. My videos. This is me. This is me as well. Okay, these are two of my exports. That's fine. This one's still processing, which is cool. And if I go here, it is hopefully now generating the individual videos. It is, and there's no pending job, which is not great. Seems like the export functionality is working, but the template generation functionality is broken. This one right here. I can try it one more time. 𝗟𝗶, generate my video. Yeah, something's up here. This is definitely not right. There's just repeated videos. Yeah, that's a bug. Well, the good thing is we have a friend who can help us solve a bug. There's a bug in the generate with my avatar functionality for a template. I should put this in a file. 15 template bug.ts. Oh, I said ts. Should be md. When I am exporting with a new avatar, it is not working. The avatar is not going to export. Seems like it is simply using the original video instead of the new avatar. We should start a longer pipeline that actually regenerates all the video blocks for this user and finally merges them to create the final template video. Also, during this process, we should ensure we are not rebaking two same video blocks for the same avatar. Also, we should probably parallelize creating these on open router. No need for the process to be sequential, and that should do it. Implement 15. Cool. And is this thing done? No, it's still working. So two things happening parallelly again. The first one, again, I forgot. Oh yeah, the thumbnail should be generated by AI. I'm assuming this is very verbose. Now the whole, video template creation, backend pipeline, and front end and export functionality. There's like a lot of code, and as you can see now, it's like, I mean, this, I would have assumed this is like a very simple feature, and it's taking long for the AI to write this code. Same is true here. This could also be because we're using a very powerful model for something very simple. And here we're using an adaptive model, so I'm hoping it'll be faster. Let's see.
A few moments later.
All right. Both the things are done. I forgot. Oh, this one generated a thumbnail that's AI generated. Beautiful. And this one generated or fixed, hopefully, the template creation functionality. Let's rebuild everything. Let's restart. Let's try generating with Ishan's avatar now. This will be like a mildly expensive video, probably like $3 or something like that. All right, generating. This can take several minutes. Do we have new jobs triggered now? Yeah, we do. We have 3 jobs queued, which is exactly what I would expect because this video has 3 AI generated videos, some of them repeated. But yes, for Ishan now, hopefully there are 3 parallel requests that have gone out. And once they finish, I think we should be sorted. Although, either the front end is... Oh no, never mind. Still here. Oh no, never mind. Which one of these was it? Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I got redirected here, even though the video isn't yet generated. But it's okay. It still says processing, so we're fine. We'll wait.
A few moments later.
All right. It's working as expected, guys. Let me start 2 of these videos parallelly so that you can see, you know, they sort of work similarly, even though the people in the videos are different. So that's me. That's Ishan. You get the idea. Once the template is generated, even though it's like an ugly template right now, a person can come and, you know, put in their avatar and just change the full video for them to be the main character of the video. Now comes the interesting part. We have to do a bunch of things now. We need to add a credits system, Razorpay integration so people can pay. We need to make the UI much better. And most importantly, I need to spend my own time or, you know, a few editors need to spend some time to create these templates. Only if we have good templates does it make sense to, you know, build a website like this. The good thing is, I mean, I created a very dumb template right now, but I only spent like, you know, I don't know, probably $5 to $10 doing it. So it's to create 10 good templates, you probably need to spend like $100, $200, $300, something like that, which is probably the last thing I'll do. Before that, I now want a full UI haul. I want a credit system. I want Razorpay. All 3 of them very big tasks. So I am going to now, I'm going to hit the bed. So I want all 3 of these to happen, but I want these to happen on the cloud and not on my machine because I'm sleeping. What I'm going to do is I'm going to log into Devin. I'm also going to push this to GitHub at this point. So git init, git add dot, git commit. I should have committed this over time, but that's fine. Version 1 complete. Alrighty. And let me push this as well. Let me push this to a repository. This guy have access to a repo. Code as 30. So let's put it there. Let me call it Video Arena. Happy to keep it private for now, even though it can be public. I don't think it's a problem. Eventually will be public. Git remote add origin, git push origin head. So they should push the full repo. And now, hopefully Devin has access to it already. This is the Devin UI, and the good thing about the Devin UI is you can log in here, connect your GitHub repo like I have already, or your GitHub organization, your personal GitHub, etc., and offload these tasks while you're sleeping, which is something I want to do. So add repositories. Which one is it? It's Video Arena. Hopefully it's here. There we go. Beautiful. Seems like it's already here. So I'll go back I will. How do I select a specific repo? Oh, there we go. Video arena. Beautiful. Or you can also select the OS you want, including Windows. That's interesting. We need to implement, again, this should be a spec file. So I'll ask you to eventually dump it to a spec file. Credits system and payments using Razorpay. This is only for end users and not for admins who generate templates. Put a sane, figure out the best pricing model. Let's have 3 plans. Oh, fuck, stop. How do I stop it? I'll stop it. I'll copy it. I will do it one more time. Select video arena here. Let's have 3 plans. Rupees 1000, rupees 5, I don't know, 3000, rupees 8000. Give user credits accordingly. Debit their credits whenever they generate a video, audio, or a third thing, which was, a template. That's very vague. Document all your learnings in a new spec file, and finally commit to the main repo. It's vague in the sense, I mean, it's not really vague, but I would assume it'll ask me a few questions. Not yet. Beautiful. Let me start another session. We need a UI, overhaul. So let me just do that. UI looks ugly right now. Can you please make it prettier? Do not touch the template creator screen too much. It works well and is anyways only accessible to the admins, so I wouldn't want that functionality broken. I would also choose like a GPT 5.5 probably. I've heard it's great in UI. We'll find out, I guess. Also make sure you implement a nice landing page. We don't have one right now. Beautiful. That should do it. So now I have 2 agents running. They can run on the cloud. They're not running on my machine, which is, a good thing because I'm going to hit the bed now. And by the time I wake up, I hope 2 very ambitious features have been built. Honestly, after this, there's not much. If the UI that is built is actually really good, if the payment system works as expected, the only other thing I would like to add would be to decouple services a bit. Right now, what's happening is everything is running on the same backend, which is not great, especially, because a bunch of these are FFmpeg processes. So we would probably decouple the system a bit, have, a bunch of different services, or, call it whatever, microservices, these are like macro services, which actually do some video stuff, and break the repo down into some smaller parts. Other than that, I mean, this is like a good enough, or probably like a great V1, depending on what kind of UI we get over here. So I'll wait for that. With that, I'm going to hit the bed. I'll close this tab, and I will hope while the tab is closed, since it is a cloud agent, it will keep on running, which is exactly what is happening. I'm excited to see how it works, because the thing is, this cloud agent does not have access to my open router key and a database URL, etc. It probably can't run the face swapping model locally, which is like really hard, etc., etc. So I'm excited to see if it performs as well as Devin was performing locally. We will leave it there. I will see you guys tomorrow when I wake up after I see what it's done for us. Bye bye. All right, new day, new me. We asked Devin to do a few changes while I was sleeping. It did it on the cloud. It created, I would assume, pull requests for us, and it did the 2 issues that I assigned to it. It created 2 different PRs for. I would like to review these. Honestly, there might be some merge conflicts also. Which one should we merge first? probably, I mean, this one I want to test. Let me just do the UI changes for now. I'll keep the second one open for now. The front end UI and landing pages, I'm going to merge, pull locally and see what's up. All right, let's do a git pull. Cool. Let's do a rebuild. Probably only need the front end, but let me do both the front end and the back end. Let's start everything. Go to localhost 5173, I think is where the front end is hosted. All right. Can't say I love it. Yeah, the UI needs another, another iteration for sure. Yeah, can't say I love it. We need to fix the UI a lot. It looks better than before, but I think the scope of improvement, I might have to, get into slightly more spec-driven development to finish this. That's the UI. The other PR was, let's just try the other one as well. Curious to see if there are no merge conflicts, we'll do it. If there are merge conflicts, not much we can do. I would assume there are merge conflicts because front-end changes. Yeah, I'm gonna skip this for now. I will probably do another iteration on the front end right now. And then we'll go from there. Let me add 16 front end overhaul .md. The front end looks very primitive and vibe coded at the moment. Spend some time really finesse the UI so that it looks close to Higgsfield, dark mode everywhere. If I was a UI engineer, I would add so much context in here, which I can't because I'm not a UI engineer, but that really tells you, expertise with AI is better than, no expertise with AI. Implement at 16. So, oh, there we go. Meanwhile, there is a file change. Oopsie daisy, I did accept it. I don't know when this came or why this came. Probably because of something I did earlier, but we'll come to it. Let's let it finish. Let's test the app. Let's go from there. All right, it finished. Hoping for the best. Oopsie daisy. Let's rerun it. I should probably add hot reloading here. We're making a lot of changes, but nothing is restarting, so we should fix that. Refresh. Oh yeah. Again, like decent, not great. We'll figure it out. I mean, not bad, honestly. But very shatzy and like, you can tell Shatsin has been used aggressively. We'll fix it though. Is it mobile friendly? I would assume so. Yeah, sort of. Cool. Should be fine. Yeah, I'll do a full. I mean, there are a bunch of things that I understand. Jitna mujhe UI, as much UI as I know. I try to add those. Based on my expertise. But again, in the end, at this point, I probably need a UI engineer who's really good, who can probably use an AI assistant or not to make this premium. It doesn't look super premium to me right now. With that, what is the next big thing that is left? I need to test this as a user as well. So let me quickly, what's the best way to do it? I guess I could just log out for now and sign in as a normal user. Cool, I'm a normal user now. I don't see admin. If I go to video, image, templates, there's a template over here that I can see. And I would like to generate a video. Yeah, I first need to generate an avatar or create an avatar. Let me do that. I need a third person. Can't use someone popular. Let me see whose photo I have locally. Okay, I do have Sheikh's photo, so let me use that. Cool. Let me call the avatar shake. Let me choose a file which will be on my desktop. There we go. One photo should be good enough, but let me add two. Chalo. Create avatar. Avatar has been created. This is a person. Now let me go to the templates. Even though I don't love this template, I don't want to spend too much credits here, but one try as a user and then we're good to go. Then we'll move on to, again, a bunch of parallel tasks. I will spin off a bunch of parallel tasks while I spend my time building the very first, template for this website. I'll probably spend a few hours on it, at least, an hour or two. I don't know what audio I'll use. I don't know what video I'll use, but I'll spend like a few hours trying to build the first template, and then we'll try that. If that looks good to me is when I'll spend more time making more templates. That way, you're as an engineer spending time on the product as well. Even though this is like a very nuanced statement, the product is like a video product. So as a GTM engineer, you wouldn't be expected to do this. But since this is in a niche that I sort of understand, filmmaking, I'm going to spend my time not just engineering, but building the product while I ask Devin to parallelly, build features like implementing 𝗟𝗶ህ, which is a more objective feature than something like UI, and hence I don't really have to do it locally and retest it. It's a feature that if it works, if it works, if it doesn't, I'll be able to fix it. So let me ask you to do it. Can you fix the merge conflicts? I think I can tag Devin directly on the PR as well, but this should work. All right, my videos, processing. This pipeline is also not great of few nodes. When you generate the video, you should probably see something at the bottom right that shows you generating. And then when it generates, you should keep polling it. When it generates, you see it over there. Bunch of UX changes, which ideally, if I really was building this product, I would offload at this point. Since, I'm building it right now in front of you for this YouTube video, I'll probably do it myself. Cool, does work as a user. Let me spawn a few tasks for Devin to fix on the fly. Seems like it updated the PR, which is great. I have a few more tasks for it to do. What else can I offload to the cloud agent? Are there any big features? Not really. Oh yeah, there's one very big task that's left, which ideally should be done locally only. Yeah, let me just do it locally. The Higgsfield landing page, if you've seen, has a bunch of AI generated videos. It looks something like this, which is pretty cool. I would like something similar. I would like for some of these videos to appear on our website as well, and a preview that looks like this, so you can see other people's videos. Or if an admin created this video, then admin videos. So this is the prompt to generate this video. We should probably scrape some of these and bring them locally. And I think this can be a long task that I can offload to Higgsfield. So let me do that. Let's do it here. Let me create a new agent, or I think I can just go to agent mode here somewhere. Oh yeah, okay, this is the UI of the same thing, never mind. Let me just do it here. The Higgsfield landing page looks amazing. It has a bunch of videos that, let me just pull this on the left, actually show the power of Higgsfield. We should have something similar. Our landing page should just be a dump of videos generated via AI. Can you scrape the, yeah, I should write this in a spec file. What am I doing? This is a big feature and less of a technical feature, more of a, product feature. 17 landing page videos, empty. Their landing page, get all the videos generated via models that we support, copy over their videos, prompts, model, etc., and show them on our website. That way, we don't have to spend credits in building cool videos for the landing page because Higgsfield has already done it. Eventually, we'll probably do it ourselves, but for now, it'll be a lot of money to spend to create these many videos. So I would like a landing page that looks like this. I would like videos that look like this. But I would not want to spend credits re-rendering all of these videos, and hence I'm asking AI to do it. The look, feel, and videos should be very similar. Scrape their page to understand this better. Alrighty, let's implement that. Again, either is fine. You can do it here. You can do it inside the terminal. I'm just a terminal fan, so I'm going to a terminal fan. Try saying that. I'm going to just do it inside the terminal. Implement at the rate of 17 dash landing page. Beautiful. Cool. While that is working, let me spend some time building some of our own videos. I'm going to generate a template from scratch, and you're probably going to see, let me just log in as a admin. You're probably going to see like a time lapse of this, of me trying to build the very first template in like probably an hour, and then we'll go from there. I think this is the admin ID. All right, cool. I'll see you in an hour after I'm finished building the very first template.
One eternity later.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back. I spent almost 2 days building the rest of the things. Coding it was easy. Building the product and the front end things and the actual videos was hard. But let me show you what we have. This is not Higgsfield, folks. This is actually our website. And who's that? Oh my God, look at him coming out of that car. Crazy. Face looks familiar. That's me. And I've literally created the full template. It took me like 24 hours to do it for building something like this. Now, anyone can come to this website, click on templates, select the 𝗟𝗀 template, change the avatar to whoever you want, click on generate video, and it generates a video for you. For example, 𝗟𝗀 is my editor. And I generated a video for 𝗟𝗀 over here. And now if you see, who's coming out of the car is not me, but 𝗟𝗀. That's crazy. It takes less than $6 to render this 𝗟𝗀 video, by the way. The full video, you'll find him moving around, him, whatever, doing his thing, etc., etc. And let me share how we built the templates. There are a bunch of changes I've added. So these are the currently available templates. Let me open the 𝗟𝗀 one, which is the most difficult one. These are the two templates that I've added: a Karan Aujla replaced by Modi template, and then a 𝗟𝗀 replaced by me template. If you remember, the way this happened was you can create a new template, select an avatar, or two avatars if you want, but one is fine for now. Give it a name. For example, I might do it for a Britney Spears song next. Add some description to it, select an avatar, probably a female, and then click on create an open editor. Before you do that, you should of course create avatars. For example, I've created 2 avatars for myself, one for my editor, one for Ishan sir, and one for the president or the prime minister, sorry, of the country. Once you do that, you reach a screen like this, which again we covered, and now it looks a little prettier. And now it's your job to do all the heavy lifting, which I have done for this one video. Only the admins of the website can do it right now, but I can always hire a team who's constantly scouring music videos, bringing them over here. This is a slightly manual challenge at the moment, but I would hope over time it becomes less manual, and AI can also replace some parts of it. The way this works is I import the audio over here by clicking on upload audio. I upload the original 𝗟𝗀 video by clicking on upload video. So these two timelines are taken over by the original audio, original video, and that is what you see until an editor comes and clearly says, okay, this segment that you see over here, which you can select more segments if you want, this segment needs a face swap. So what you can do is you can select a segment. When you select a segment, for example, this one right here, you write the prompt of what is happening in this 3-second, 6-second, 5-second video. You select a video model using which you want to finally generate the video. You select the duration, which track it will apply to. So this is video track 1, this is video track 2. If you want, you can add more video tracks. This is the video track 3 that I've added. You select a start frame and an end frame. In this case, I only selected an end frame. Sorry, this is the start frame and this is the end frame. Okay, this is the start frame. This is what the final video should start from. This is the end frame. And notice there is Ranveer Singh over here. How do you select start frames and end frames? You can just go to that specific screenshot or timestamp here and click on start frame. When I do, this specific section's start frame will become this. And if I can go to the end, I can click on end frame. This specific section's end frame becomes this. So I have a start frame, I have an end frame, I have a checkbox in which I've said the second frame, the end frame, needs to have a face swap with the avatar that I selected when creating this template. So the second frame will get face swapped, and this is what the second face swapped thing looks like. And notice that looks sort of like me. The first frame did not have a face swap, and hence if I look at the first frame, there's no real face swap that happened. The first frame also it looks swapped over here because I might have selected check over here, but you probably shouldn't swap here, otherwise ye banda swap ho jayega. So if you look at it, this person probably now looks like me, which is bad. There should not be a face swap on the first one. That is why I've not ticked this. If I tick this, it'll look bad. I will become the second person also. So, this person will both become me. I only want this guy to be me. You can also select which model you want to use for the face swap. This runs locally, works really well. Problem is, this doesn't change the facial structures too much. So notice I have the same beard as Ranveer over here, or Ranveer, whatever, the actor over here. If I want my full face, then you need a different model. I'll show you that as well. But there are many face swap models that are available over here. One is free because you can run it locally. The others are expensive, not very expensive, but again, you have to pay. All of these are available via Open Router. You click on bake or rebake to actually bake that video, which basically means this video will get baked with Harkirat's start frame, Harkirat's end frame, and that is how this specific section was created. I went through the whole process of creating all of these sections myself. Wherever Ranveer was appearing, I replaced it with myself. For example, this last one, I moved it a little bit. Let me move it back here. I created this 6-second frame where I set the start frame and end frame, where I selected face swap for the start frame and the end frame. So this is what the start frame finally looks like. That's me over here. This is what the end frame looks like. That is also me over here. And then I generated a video. So the final video generation model only has frame 1 and frame 2, but they're so good that, in the end, the final video that is generated looks very close to the original Dhurandhar video. That's pretty much it. You do a lot of heavy lifting of doing this. You finally render and export the video with a thumbnail, prompt, so that there's a thumbnail to this template as well. And then it appears over here in the template section. Anyone can now come, click on this template, select an avatar of theirs, click on generate video, and we generate a video for them. For example, for Hanzala, as I showed you, this specific render was created. And if you look at it, you'll see the actor has been replaced with Hanzala and not myself. So anyone can come and generate these templates. The users don't see the admin section. They simply see the template section. They can generate as many renders as they want. Each render over here will be very expensive because, every render of a full video is actually a bunch of small videos and face swaps we have to do, which are expensive for us. Overall, this video takes like $6-7, which is not very expensive. You can charge the end user like $10 for it. I would hope people would be willing to pay, $10 for a video like this, where in a full Dhurandhar song, they have been replaced. That's the most complicated part we've added. Other than that, it's pretty standard. Avatar, images, video. The UI looks almost the same as Higgsfield. If you open it, you'll see. And Devin did it like this. Models are really good. Now I gave it literal screenshots, nothing else. I gave it a screenshot of Higgsfield. I was able to copy it end to end. I had to go a little slow. I had to go, step by step. First create this, then create this, then create this. I was able to do it well. I took a bunch of prompts from Higgsfield for now and regenerated all those videos. And, those are what appear on this wall. And this is the second video, which is the 𝗟𝗀 video. I have not completed it, but this is what it looks like. And, just to show a little bit of a transition, what I've done is, this is what the video looks like if you use Face Fusion, which is the local model that we have. Notice it retains the original 𝗟𝗀 features, puts Modi on top, so it doesn't look great. It looked okay for Dhurandhar, makes sense for Dhurandhar. Over here, a different video model makes sense. Now that looks like Mr. Modi. Problem is the colors are a little off, so you have to find a middle ground around over here. But the second model is so good that notice, the swap happens really well. In fact, the quality of the audio image also gets increased. So what I've done over here is I have the final video model, I have the duration, I have the avatar, I have a start frame, I have an end frame, and I've face swapped both of them using the Black Forest Flux 2 model, which is a paid model, which actually replaces the faces with, with the features. That's full Modi ji compared to this was like partial Modi ji, partial 𝗟𝗀. So in this specific video, this makes more sense. So this is what you should use. But again, if you look at the transition, it's so smooth that it literally feels like, it's very easy to replace a person with another person over here. That's pretty much it. I've not put in too much efforts over here, but this video also, over time, you should put in efforts to replace the whole video. And ideally, I would just hire for this. This is a manual process, unfortunately, right now. I can think of a few ways to automate it, but it's manual for now. That covers templates, which I've built. everything has been a single prompt that I've dumped into a spec file. So if you want, in the end, there are 20 spec files. If you run all of them together, you'll probably reach the same product. So everything has been documented for agents in the future. Last thing I added was payments. Again, just told it add Razorpay, add a credit system, make sure they're profitable, and that's it. It generated 3 plans, probably closer to Higgsfield. You get a bunch of credits. Everything that you do, generating a video, generating an image, generating a template has certain credits. Generating a template is much more expensive compared to generating a video, which is cheaper. Image which is cheaper. Video is a little expensive. Ideally, this should be model based. This model should be a little more expensive. This model should be a little bit cheaper, depending on what the open router pricing is. But right now, I've just kept it constant. You can see all the history of images that you've created or videos that you've created over here. For example, this is a video on Higgsfield. This is the prompt for it. I generated it directly over here. This is a video, these are a bunch of images that I've created in the past. Person 1, person 2, GPT, image 2, etc., etc. And the UI part, the credits system were little one-shots. The only difficult bit here was this. I probably had the longest conversation with the LLM building this. The timeline, the video features, it was a very novel sort of a product. And hence, this involved a lot of back and forth and probably like 6-7 hours of back and forth with Devin. Everything else was much smaller. And again, it took me a lot of time to build the specific template. The last thing, I recently bought a domain as well for this. I asked Claude, and this one was available. So I've bought 𝗟𝗶ጵH𝗀𝘀. I'm going to deploy this there. I already deployed it, again, which was one shot. I already have a skill for this to deploy applications to my infrastructure. So this is a one shot of deploying this application on my DigitalOcean Kubernetes cluster. The architecture now looks something like this. There is a front end hosted on DigitalOcean. There is a back end hosted on DigitalOcean. There is Razorpay that we talk to for payments. There is a database self-hosted on my Kubernetes cluster. Open router, I have an API key. I have $50 in it. For production, I use DigitalOcean Spaces as a CDN and object store. For local, you can use Minio, which is free. And the phase swap that we use, the phase fusion model, I have hosted on a separate heavy machine because I don't want to put this in my Kubernetes cluster. It will start to affect other services. There are ways to optimize that. But for now, I have a separate machine in my infrastructure. Let me show you, which simply hosts the phase fusion model, which is the slightly harder, only model that we're self-hosting. Everything else, we depend on Open Router. One phase fusion model, we self-host. Open Router doesn't have phase fusion. Also, since it's not free, this is like a very expensive machine. But still, I think if there is a lot of usage, this will be free in the longer run or cheaper in the longer run to just pay $96 for a droplet over here. Phase fusion is hosted over here. Everything else is hosted in a Kubernetes cluster. Cool. The last thing is left. Believe it or not, a lot of my deployment also happens via Devin. So I'm going to ask you to do the one last thing in front of you, which is going to be change the name of the app to, let's call it, what domain name did I buy? 𝗟𝗶ጵH𝗀𝘀. Also deploy it on 𝗟𝗶ጵH𝗀𝘀.com. I'll set up the DNS. Please provide the IP. I already know the IP, but I'll ask it. Maybe it's aware. It'll probably check the Kubernetes cluster to find the IP of the load balancer. Okay, it's starting from scratch now because it's like a fresh conversation. Let me just open Squarespace. This is a new domain that I just bought. I'll go to the DNS section. I will delete the A records that already exist or the Squarespace defaults. And I'm going to add, my own set of things here. I don't know what I did, but I deleted this. I was supposed to delete this. I don't know. Hopefully it still works. The root domain, that is 𝗟𝗶ጵH.com, should point to, it is not telling me, so I'll just check. Get ingress -100xdevs. This one might be it. I think this is it. I can also ping video.100xdevs.com where I hosted it right now. It'll be the same IP, which is this one right here. It's already hosted, only it's hosted on a weird subdomain right now. I want it to be hosted on 𝗟𝗶ጵH. And notice, I just told the LLM one thing and it'll already automatically go into my Kubernetes config and start to replace it. I also hope, yeah, there you go. That's the IP it gave me as well. It also changes everything in the front end, right? Front end should say 𝗟𝗶ጵH now rather than saying, what was it? video arena, which is like a random placeholder that I put. In production, I have 494 credits. 𝗟𝗶ህ works. I just have my demo key over there, but I'll replace it by the time this video comes with a production key. So you can test it, you can pay for it, you can generate the 𝗟𝗀 template if you want. Let me get the 𝗟𝗋ህ test cards, which is, this one right here. Pay for it. Continue. Right now, production has, whoopsie daisy. Right now, production has dummy credentials or dummy 𝗟𝗋h, but by the time this video comes, it will be real API credentials. This is what it looks like if you use 𝗟𝗋h in test mode. It just tells you, do you want this transaction to fail or succeed? I want it to succeed. And so right now, anyone can go to the website and give themselves credits. By the time you guys see the video, it'll be a production key. So you'll actually have to pay via a real card or pay via UPI. Now, if you go back to the original page, you will have more credits. For example, now I have 2600 credits. I can do whatever I want. I can generate a template. There are 2 templates available. I can, put myself here. I don't know if I have avatars, but never mind. There's an avatar here of a friend. I can use that. Or I can generate videos, I can generate images, I can do whatever I want. So let me just try to generate a video and let me get a prompt from Higgsfield and let's see, do we get a similar video or not? Let's click on one of these videos. That one looks fancy. Let me copy the whole thing. That's a lot of things. And hopefully we get like a similar video from our website also. I'm not adding any references, start frames, end frames. I've turned on audio. Let me select like a decent model. VO3 Pro, it'll be really expensive. This will be like a 2-second video will be like, I would assume $1 or something like that. And on the website, it's 60 credits. So if I generate this, my credits will decrease. And it failed. Prompt length exceeds maximum allowed length. That makes sense. Let me make it a little smaller. I don't know, this is like a backend restriction or an open router restriction. I would assume open router. This is like an open router restriction, which I'm sure there's a way to get around, but I made the thing smaller. And now hopefully it works. We should add these validations in the backend, by the way. So, still a little rough around the edges. Let's wait for it to generate. All right, this is the video that it generated. Can't say it looks similar. This is what it generated. This is what Higgsfield had. So a little different. Yeah, but it is red eventually. This is like a 15-second video. Ours is smaller. If you use the same model, Cdance 2, we probably would have gotten the same output. But we use a different model, so this is what it looks like. Cool. You generate videos, your credits will get decreased if you do that. Same is true for images, same is true for templates if you want to really get ambitious and generate a template for yourself. Let's see if Devin finished. I did not need to move the backend, but so let me move the backend. Should the existing keep working? Keep both working is fine. Actually, this is a problem. 𝗟𝗋h will not work on the new website, will it? I have not approved that domain, but I'll get it approved. How deep should the rename go? User branding only plus infra? No, user branding is good enough. Let me replace this to my support email. And that's good to go.
A few moments later.
All right, Devin is done. The only extra thing I had to do was create secrets that you see. So hopefully these are blurred in the video, but I had to create new OAuth secrets with new redirect URLs for the new website. Other than that, the website is now live on 𝗟𝗶H𝗀𝘀com. You can sign up, you can sign in, you can buy some credits, you can generate videos, you can generate images, you can generate templates, you can put avatars. Hopefully this was an insightful video. Hopefully you learned something new. Biggest learning is it took me like 3 days of cognitive abilities to build this. So if you are a decent or above, above average engineer, you can now move really fast in building products. A little bit of finesse, a little bit of technical understanding, some specific challenges I navigated myself, which I'm sure AI would have been able to do as well, but I just feel more confident. If I was writing the same code in Rust, or Golang or Ruby on Rails, I wouldn't feel as confident as in TypeScript because I have expertise in TypeScript. So I do feel AI makes a good engineer much better, and a good engineer can still execute much faster, much better if, compared to a bad engineer, someone who's just starting to code. I would almost assume any company that you're going to join, you're going to use coding assistants heavily because you can't really compete with someone else who is using them. And hence, a lifestyle you probably want to get used to sooner than later. The product is live, the code is open source. Feel free to self host, feel free to use it. That's all I had for this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.